Hello and welcome back to We Talk Talent, our highly popular interview series where we uncover stories, strategies, and solutions driving the future of talent, HR innovations, and leadership. I'm Abhik Roy, Associate Content and Community from ETHRWorld, and it's my pleasure to introduce the guest of our today's episode, Urvi Aradhya, CHRO from Raheja Corp. Hi Urvi, we are so glad to have you here on We Talk Talent. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Abhik. Pleasure to be here on the platform of ETHR World. Looking forward to this conversation.
Great. I'm equally looking forward. I'm quite excited. So I'll start with my questions right away. My first question is, in your long career, you have seen real estate sector, evolve through different phases. From that vantage point, how do you think, talent management, in this sector?
Great question, Abhik. Actually, there are certain things which are very unique to real estate, and there are something commonalities as well, which are agnostic to the industries. So overall, I would say that workplaces and work philosophies have really changed in a couple of decades, and more so in recent years, transforming business models and evolving roles, which have had their impact on the employees across functions, across industries. Now, in particular to the real estate operates through very long project cycles, as you are aware. So the initial creation of policies are very different, but the sustenance is something which goes in a very long way. So real estate long cycles, it needs a very specialized attention because the cycles are very, very long. The commonality, of course, people are the same across industries, so is very much same. However, I would say the sector is actually rapidly going through a major use of or adoption of property related prop tech, data analytics, newer technology, and increasing demand for digital and future facing skills. Future ready talent in these sectors are becoming more agile. They are more compliance oriented because the dashboard is really working out very well and very faster. They are able to work across cross functional project driven environments. And moreover, they are ready to adopt with the ever increasing need of technology. So we at our organization heavily invest into talent pool with emerging AI and other tools for making our people future ready.
Great. Thank you for that response, Urvi. Now, K Raja is, a very large and complex organization. There are people working who, working varied roles. They're coming with, different backgrounds, different experiences. And, in such a setup, equity can mean, different things to different people. I want to know, nevertheless, given that, how are you actively creating a workplace, that nevertheless remains, fair and inclusive for each and every employee?
Yeah, it's at the core of the values, I would say, at Raheja Corp. And at Raheja Corp, inclusion is woven into how we hire, how we develop our talent, and each flagship programs are actually designed around that. So I would just share a couple of policies or programs what we follow. We have a Pride Side policy which takes care of the LGBTQA plus employees. So when we started inducting people from this community, we were very mindful. So the entire organization went through the culture sensitization the workshop. Each and every employee was made to aware that how you have to deal, how you have to be sensitive when you are dealing with various communities. And only then we started actually inducting people. And then it has been a great success and they feel very welcome. Anchal is another program which smooths women into transition into motherhood, and due to which today, since last couple of years, all the women who went on maternity leave, we have 100% ratio of women who came back because we allow them for about 1 to 2 years a lot of flexibility, support. They can travel if they have to travel with a nanny and the kid if they have to travel. There are special parking, there are very flexible hours. They are given buddies while they are away if they want to get connected. They are given upskilling training if they have missed out while they were away. So they feel very welcome and their role is assured. So they don't have any anxiety when they are coming back. So these are a couple of things as far as the women and the different communities are concerned. Now, for the larger population, I would like to say that we also have a flagship program called Shikhar, which is a lab kind of 6 to 8 months program for a high potential, which is blended into learning and development journey. And we track, how they are moving ahead in their career during this entire program and after the program. And we have about 37 to 40% a success ratio in initial year itself, where they could take up and they were ready to take the higher responsibility or the higher role which was available into the organization, and which also helps us in retaining people, and they were happy as well. Another inaugural program for our women employee resource group, ERG as we call it, made of 15 women employees, which focuses on their professional development, networking, and the entire wellness within the workforce. So we also have Shiro's program for women leadership to take on higher leadership programs. Apart from that, we also focus on various categories of employees to take them and upskilling them. So iLead is another program which takes care of the managers to assistant manager level people, assistant general manager level people, who play a very important role in execution, in the daily execution and cross function collaboration. And iGrow is something which is for the development need for the individual contributor who can eventually get into managerial positions. Very unique program we recently launched, which was reverse mentoring, because we are a multi-generation talent pool, and a lot of people do not understand at times the way of working of a different generational employees, and that's where we thought, and it's been a huge success. At the launch itself, it was purely voluntary. Whoever wants to get coached by the younger person, they have to raise their hands on the topic what they want to learn, and we had a huge success of right from director level people to heads of the department seeking out to younger generation to mentor them or coach them or teach them certain things which probably they were feeling out of sync, and it's been a great success. So these are some of the things we have actually tried to bring people together and making a very equity based organization culture which everybody feels welcome.
Wonderful. I think each program, sounds very thoughtfully designed. And the last one, as you mentioned about reverse mentoring. So I want to, dive deeper a bit into that. What's your take on, the Gen Zs, like this new generation of workforce, how has it been, working with them? Anything you would like to share on that?
So, in fact, there's a lot to learn, Abhik. I would say they are very focused. They are driven by the challenge. So, yes, you as an organization or as a leadership, you should be able to give that platform and environment to them. Once you entrust them with the responsibility, I think they want to be left alone and allow them to work. So micromanaging definitely doesn't work for them, and I think it's nothing bad about it because they are taking ownership. And if left to themselves, they will figure out they are very good. One more thing I have noticed is they are very good collaborators. They don't hesitate to collaborate with different departments, different level of people, and they are focused in on the outcome. So there's a lot of learning to be done, and that was actually at the core when we started the reverse mentoring program.
Great, great. So, Urvi, my next question is, real estate sector, has a significant on-ground workforce, from construction workers, site workers, and then there's, of course, the corporate team. At K Raheja, how do you approach culture building, in an industry where often frontline employees operate far from corporate headquarters? How do you design a culture that nevertheless, binds them all, gives an experience that's, common to uniform for everybody?
Very important, very close to my heart, actually, this question, I would say, because culture is something, awake is not something which is written in the policy. It is the everyday behavior of every employee, every leader, I would say. And that is what makes the culture of an organization. And that's where we focus on. So respect is at the core, diversity is extremely important. Accepting different views is very important. Giving empowerment is very important because these are the things which builds a culture and which give satisfaction to employees who are, looking forward to long-term career with you. So the values is something. So for this, what we have done is we give a time off for volunteering, for giving employees structured paid leave, Basically 6 days in a year we give them to choose whatever CSR initiative close to their heart. Some of the programs we also partner with, some of them they can choose whatever they want to, but they have complete freedom to wherever they want to contribute to the society. Basically, idea is we want people to be aware of the society or the neighborhood what we are operating in, and being sensitive to diverse culture and diverse people. That was the idea. On-site workers, which is largely their outsourced people, are also given opportunity to upskill themselves on a newer technology, because basically they are the frontline workers who are going to build your product. So we cannot ignore them. So we are very sensitive to them as well. Our latest team member, Amber, which is the organization's AI-powered chief learning officer, we call it, of offering 24 by 7 instant support on all HR policies, enabling employees on site, off site both, to raise tickets for deeper assistance, any concern, any sentiment, their happiness quotient, their concern, everything it is capturing. And then we in turn go back to them answering their queries. So Amber kind of tool are immensely helping us in predictive analysis of how people are thinking and what they are seeking from the organization. Then dedicated engagement team maintain the regular communication with them. So these are some of the things we try to do to build the culture in the organization.
Great. Now my, last question for you is, on AI. You were mentioning about Amber as well, Now, AI is moving from, experimentation phase to operation phase. Already in 2025, that phase has, the transition has started, and in 2026, it's only going to be intensified, where AI has to make real business value. At Raheja, how are you leveraging AI, particularly in HR, to benefit the business? Any, success stories you would like to share, or what are you planning, for this year ahead?
So just to tell furthermore on Amber, I was just, I mean, as late as present as today morning, I was sitting with my team with the dashboard of Amber, and literally we identified that 58 people we need to address because these are the concerns, and maybe the predictively we need to reach out to them, and this I would have never come to know had it not been AI, because you can't practically reach out to all your workforce and ask their concerns. So this is a beautiful piece where we are able to reach out to the large workforce, which is not necessarily all are into one place. They are at multiple location, multiple cities, multiple sites. So basically reaching to the employees and making them comfortable that they can raise their concern is something which is the biggest outcome which is coming. Another thing is lot of work which was taking away people's time. I think that's being done very easily. Recently, we had certain session on. I'm sure you would have heard about vibe coding. Like I don't have to be a coder to write a code because AI will write it for me. As a leader, I want to know certain information. So I can just say in plain English, and it would be written by them, and I can get the entire information in a few minutes or few seconds, actually. So these are the things we are trying to bring in not only in HR but across functions, and of course HR also is part of it. So we are constantly evaluating and upgrading and upskilling ourselves that where use case scenario can help us and all employees in all departments due to AI.
So, you're talking about predictive analytics. Can you share some, like any, any case story, like, um, something that you actually found out, through Amber, or, the predictive analytics that you're leveraging? Any insight that came across from with respect to what workforce is feeling or anything like that?
Yeah, so one entire actually policy we found because of this. It's an interesting case study because after Amber, we realized that we were not so great, maybe in first 3 months of people joining, in giving them the clear KPIs quickly enough, maybe. So initial period, maybe about a month, first month, they were a little clueless. And this was something which came out of this predictive analysis where people shared when we reached out to them through AI. And then we formed a policy where by every 2 months, we have all the new joinees as a program we have woven into now that they are gathering with the HR spoke. And we are actually having these meetings with them in clusters at a different locations, and reaching out far more deeper that what are the issues that they are facing and whether we have addressed all the concerns what they are having or not. And now we are also monitoring it that after 3 months whether this concern area has gone away or not. So this is what it is actually helping us out. Also, we
Yeah.
have a couple of cases where we could retain some of the people because they shown the quotient of not so happy. And we reached out to those people. Of course, we came to know through these AI tools, and then we reached out in person and we addressed those problems, and we could actually stall those resignation and we could retain those peoples.
Great. Thank you, Urvi, for joining We Talk Talent. This conversation was full of, I think, insights which, viewers are going to lean on for the year ahead, the entire year ahead. So thank you for joining We Talk Talent.